So CNN, doesn't it flip? It doesn't flip. Okay, good morning. So here's something. It wouldn't let me go live, so I had to go with the video. Good morning, and I'd to all the mothers, including myself, Happy Mother's Day. For those of you that don't know, I am a biological mother, alongside with victime du crime and victime du crème. That's actually why I'm victime du crème. Being a biological mother of an undisclosed daughter of the people that created her, in vitro fertilization, assaulting me for my ovas, first cousins that are criminally offensive from Ecuador, Monica Fernandez. That makes me victime du crème, and also victime du crime, pardon-moi, victime du crème et victime du crime, being an undisclosed biological mom. So happy Mother's Day. And if my mom's homicidal, is it just before she dies so then they can just get rid of me? But it was a great upbringing. I don't know what happened. Actually, I do. I actually pinpoint blaming laser eye surgery. I really do. My parent, a little tidbit. I went back to Florida in 1999 to finish my degree at the University of Miami. And I'm working at Latin Finance Magazine, and my parents call me. I detached myself from my family and my former boyfriend, Paul Guerrero, who happens to be my third cousin. I didn't know that. Please don't go Southern. Southern, it's in the family. I'm trying out my comedic characters, so please have fun with it like I am. So, my first fiance was a third cousin undisclosed, and they all knew it and I didn't. I found it in 2017. So I went back in 1999 and had broken up with Paul, and the happiest day of my life. Going back to finish what I had in mind since 18, Miami, and banking, Brickell living, and port shipping and imports, exports, air freight, international air freight, just like my brother, alongside with banking and my economics degree, international finance. So, I've been up since 3:30, and I went to bed at 12. Okay, good morning. Oh, the mother thing, the mom thing. Oh, so I get a phone call, and so I distanced myself. I left my parents. For what I had planned to do, my parents weren't as excited. I would have expected my parents to be excited and supportive and positive, but they weren't. They were like, she's going. I think they're just trying to shove me with Paul. And I was so happy I broke up with Paul. Oh my God. There's two reliefs in my life. Hayden and Paul. Like major burden reliefs. So my parents, this is the situation. And I would like to put this out to the world. Who has family members or close loved ones that have had laser eye surgery and their behavior changed drastically? So my parents were wonderful parents. They're still living. They are wonderful parents. In my formative year, I'd say up until 99, they're still wonderful parents, but there's a change of character, and I blame it on laser eye surgery. So this was a real concern. I went back to visit them in Laguna Niguel, from McLean, Virginia, in various times. But I really noticed it in the fall of 16. It was really evident in the fall of 16. So I had found out about problems with laser eye surgery. People back in Virginia know federal level military and governmental people back in the Commonwealth of Virginia, we know everything. So I was informed about laser eye surgery and brainwashing. So I've been dealing that with my parents. I knew something was wrong when upon their insistence, after the University of Miami and Coral Gables in 2003, I noticed my parents became different people. And I couldn't pinpoint it. I could not pinpoint it. Life went on. I kept leaving. I am dealing with stalking. I've been dealing with electronic stalking and sabotage. So I leave because I never wanted to be in California. And I get stalked out there, scared out of where I want to be, stalked out, scared out, and then, mom and dad's house is my place of refuge. If mom and dad lived in Nantucket, I'd be going to Nantucket. But they're in beautiful multi-million dollar Laguna Niguel. It's so unfortunate our area becomes so dangerously homicidal. Multi-millionaire coastal South Orange County, and people are nuts. I've got a former hooker, Perks Biker Bar, a Filipina hooker from Las Vegas, 4 doors down, freeloader. Happened to stalk the guy that was stalking me and hooked up with him. And then they decided to be homicidal, psychopathic neighbors, 4 doors down, about 25 years later after the fact that I never met them. But they used to hang out on the street where I used to work out by the beach. Crazy, huh? I think so. So, that's, yeah. So I deal with that. It's something that an Ecuadorian lady friend of ours, our friend Lily Herrera, who went from Roman Catholic like us, and she's part Jewish. She's a pro-Anu as well. It's funny when you go Southern biblical, you kind of it breaks things down. It simplifies things, which I think is great. So someone said that God unites and the devil divides. And be careful who uses it. Be careful who uses it. So I love my parents, I love my brothers, I love my family. If that unites us, that's God. If we're being divided, it's the devil. Now, if homicidal Filipina says, oh, we're being divided, to me that's God. No, I'm sorry. If the Filipino says we're being united, to me that's the devil, and to her, she'd like it to be God because she needs to get her hands on her victim. Anyways, so yes, I've been dealing with my parents had their laser eye surgery in Irvine with a Chinese doctor in, it was probably still 1999, and I came back to live with them upon their insistence in 2003, and that's when just living with them, I knew something was wrong. So if there's any people my age in late 30s, 20s, even let's say your teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, and you have parents or family or loved ones that behave differently after laser eye surgery, I've been dealing with that. I wanted to start a support group for that, because it's amazing. It's like the revenge. It literally is Anna Christina Espin's revenge. So Anna Christina Espin's father was a drunk, red-nosed, never worked in his life, deadbeat dad drunk. And I've had few to do with rehab people or alcoholics and drug addicts or anything like that. But you hear about stuff like that, like AA and Codependence Anonymous, and their themes of recovery. So Anna's life struggles probably were, how do I get this man to stop drinking? He's killing himself, if you look at it that way. Which technically they are. I saw some people chugging down over at Tyson's Corner. They opened up a new bar off of Tyson's Corner Mall. and people were pounding it hard. I hadn't seen that since like 1989 or 1990, and it wasn't me. But I kind of thought, here's to my liver. Here's to my liver. I'm killing my liver. If alcoholics could only see it that way, you know, I'm killing my liver. I'm killing my internal organs. I may crash a car, you know. Just people could only see it that way. So I think it's they said it's Anna Christina Espin's revenge, and there's evidence all over North Carolina in her genocidal and homicidal hate crime. She's not military, but she married military. So she's an immigrant Ecuadorian psychopath, distant family member removed like 5,000 times, who's committing a crime. That's why there's parameter crime in North Carolina around the military base, the Army military base. That would be her husband. My father's a U.S. citizen, immigrated here as a U.S. citizen, and served in the U.S. Army. So that's kind of that's the layout in North Carolina. So it is Anna Christina Espin's ultimate revenge. So basically, she probably brainwashed and she always bragged since 2004. I have a friend. No, I'm sorry. She probably speaks English perfectly now. I have a friend, Chin. So she has a Chinese chink friend, and I'm sorry. You got to draw the line in boundaries. A Korean girl told me it's an Asian community homicide. The California Asians will murder me, and it's an Asian. The Asians will murder me. So if there's someone that wants me dead, that's Ecuadorian, like Anna Christina Espin, she would never be that dumb to do it herself. So she got Asians to do it. So I had a Korean girl out of courtesy, since we've had relations with Koreans, positive relations with Koreans. A Korean girl told me in 2011, she's all, it's an Asian homicide, they will murder you. So for the past like 2 or 3 years, I'm being seriously harassed by Filipinos. Don't know any, don't want to know any, and they're gang people. Filipinos are serious gang people. And actually the Italian Americans kept clarifying from the District of Columbia and Georgetown and from Pennsylvania and Boston. The Italian Americans clarified, they made it clear, Asian gangs are the most dangerous gangs in the world. Asians are severely violent. So that whole chow thing from The Hangover, that's all Asian drug gang dealing, and it's serious stuff. So I can't, I had a Filipina answer the phone for a hotel reservation yesterday, and it just pissed, I'm tired of being Mr. Nice Guy. So if I got homicidal psychopath Filipinos trying to work with me and being on the phone, if I don't like your customer service that you totally lack, and I tell you so, don't tell me I'm copying an attitude. And I had to tell her that. So I had a psychopath I had a psychopath Filipino, but with some kind of masked telephone service for the hotel, trying to Siamese twin herself to me. So she's all, so how we doing? I'm sorry, I don't see anyone with me. What was that, Filipina? Filipina, what was that on the phone? How are we doing? We are not a we. I am an I.
Or out of all central terminal areas and are subject to security search. Thank you for visiting the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport.
We are not a we, and I am an I, and I don't know you. I'm not Filipino. We are not a we, and I've always been sarcastic. Okay, that's just my nature. There's probably tons of family members of mine. Do you really have to be that loud? Oh, of course I'm on video right now. Of course you do. So I've always been this sarcastic. I have always been this sarcastic. That's why I got a guy in Charlotte that showed up with the National Association of Sarcastic People. So I've just always been that sarcastic. I've always been that sarcastic. Anyways, but it gets to the point where it really bothers. It's like it's PTSD. So I have a homicidal race of Filipinos, and you're trying to we us? I don't think so. So I got to tell you that. And then she tried to tell me it's Stephen Colbert. And then she tried to tell me that was my commentary on Facebook just a little bit ago. It's so offensive when less educated, more violent, and ignorant people try to act like they're in command. So I had a Filipino psychopath trying to book a hotel for me, and she's joining us. What are we, Siamese twins? We? No, we're not a we. And Stephen Colbert, I saw your name in Marseille. Colbert. My family is, where is my family in France? My family is actually in Portugal, Spain, France. My grandpa in Germany, in Greece. There's something there. Tu parles français, Stephen Colbert. Avec Madame Nozel. Tu connais Madame Nozel? C'est mon professeur de français, premier professeur. Anyways, if Stephen Colbert went to St. Simon and Jude. I went to campus, and I'm walking down, and I see Stephen Colbert's face stand out in the portrait, and I remember I thought basketball and the water, the toilet paper wads up on the skylight of the bathroom, and there's a similar parallel. So being blackballed during Bush. I felt I was blackballed during Bush, and then I found out Colbert was blackballed, and then he just reinvented himself and went comedy. So I think I get anonymous tips. So if he was being interviewed by 360 Vanderbilt, my mom's in fashion, and then what's the name? Pamela Anderson Cooper, 360, I don't know. Genius male. I'm genius female. So I was curious if he speaks French. Did you honor your French heritage? I did. And my Spanish. So I've been dealing with laser eye surgery. If they can do reverse surgery to save my parents and my brother, I would love that. So what got me to open the video is where's Tony Blair? Tony Blair's like rejuvenated. Tony Blair hasn't been on the news for a while. He's looking young, he's looking thinner, and he's looking young. But as I was walking by, recognizing Tony Blair speaking, yeah, he looks thinner and young. Less stressed. Maybe it's being out of office, less stress, probably. Everybody ages ever notice how people aged while they're in office? I got harassed. So I'm trying to avoid being stalked and harassed by Asians. So I am asking, it's a huge globe. I'm not Asian. I never signed up for the Asian cultural class. I'm not looking to make friends. I'm putting it out there. I feel life threatened by you. Don't stalk me. Don't harass me. Don't try to talk to me. So it happened, I exited the Sky thing a little bit early, and I read the wrong gate number. So I had an African American and an Asian. I've been explaining the racial crime. I've been explaining the hate crime and racial crimes to strangers. So I am closer linked to Africa with my Spanish, Mediterranean, Iberian Sephardic Jewish person. I am more linked as a Southern Mediterranean European to Africa than I am to China. So I get the Asians always swoop and scoop. You get Mexicans, like the Mexican gangsters that are kind of Chinese, and they swoop and scoop. That's the indigenous kind. So they swoop and scoop. And I don't like it. It's like, if I talk to her, she must see her mirror image as me. No, you're stalking and blocking, and you're swooping and scooping. So the Asian lady, I approached the African American young lady, and then Asian cuts in, and she's like, oh, let me see, let me tell you. Like, she wants to be the one. I'm like, I saw that she's Asian. I'm like, no, I want to talk to her, you know? It's like when you go to the Apple store, who do you identify with you? Well, I would choose that one, but hate in the community wants me to talk to Filipino dude, gangster guy, Ginsu knives and the whole shebang. No. So you just gotta say, I've had it. That's been going on since 2000, severely since 2011, and I've had enough. You know, I didn't ask for it. Unsolicited harassment is harassment. It's a lawsuit and a lawsuit and a lawsuit and lawsuit. Defamation, slander, attacking of character, forcing my person to be in danger, trying to put me with the riffraff so you can assault me for my property. That's major crime. But anyways, so I'm dealing with parents that had laser eye surgery. So I've because of that, I've actually felt my mother homicidal. My mother said I should have been in an abortion, and that scared the heck out of me. That's when I marked her as homicidal. That was 2000. In 2018, she said I should have, or 17 or 18, she said I should have been in an abortion, like psychotically. And I just thought, she's homicidal. They're nuts, you know. And it's really horrible. It's like, it would probably be like Anna Christina Speen seeing her drunk alcoholic dad pass out on the floor, killing himself, and she can't do anything about it. So it's kind of like, I have my parents trying to kill me, and I can't do anything about it except run, fly out, drive out, I don't know. So yeah, if there's any people my age that are dealing with that, it's horrible. It really is. I would like to find out how I could stop it. I saw a 60 minutes bit about, they used a community in the United States, and I think this is a trend around the world. There are major human crimes going on, and they're explained metaphorically. So the war in Afghan might be genocidal racial crimes in the United States. Pakistan may not be Pakis in Pakistan. Maybe it's the dangerous gang members that are from Mexico, somewhere else in the United States. So it's metaphorical. So 60 Minutes bit had an entire community that doesn't see anymore. They're like the Himalayans. Gosh, I get shadowed. Ooh, there we go. Hi. That shadow government. No, I'm just kidding. So they, what was I talking about? So I'm dealing with that. So like my friend Lily said, maybe it's the devil. Blame it on the devil. It's so funny. It's the funniest thing. We have theology, we have canon law, we have Judaic law, we have different versions of Christianity. Just blame it on the devil. If it's bad and interrupting your loving relationship with your family, blame it on the devil. Either the devil's working in them, the devil's working out. It's fundamentalist. It's kind of funny, and it's actually it makes really good sense. So actually, when things are wrong with loved ones, it's the devil. It's the works of the devil. It's funny. That's very Southern Bible Belt, but it makes sense. And I like it. I enjoyed my Southern Baptist Bible study. So yes, I am dealing with that with my parents. So it is Mother's Day. It's been difficult with my mom since she had laser eye surgery. She did the best she was a great mom. She's retired from that, I think. She's grandmother now. She's still mom, but I think her major role is grandmother. But yeah, no, so happy Mother's Day. Without you and Dad, I wouldn't be here. And I thought about it on the plane. Although my first cousin, Monica Perez-Moreno, did have me assaulted illegally and criminally to extract Samovas to create a biological daughter that's mine. and have her suicidal, unfertile daughters raise her in Houston, Texas. We're in Dallas. I have there's my genes. Micaela Castro and Guillermo's daughter and my biology. There you go. There's my daughter. My daughter's very healthy and beautiful, just like myself. And actually, because of that, that's why I've been attacked. After the University of Miami, my character has been attacked just because of that fact. My good genetics and my criminal first cousin Monica Fernandez Moreno's envy and jealousy set out to attack me and ruin my life because I have a beautiful daughter and her daughters can't have kids. That's why I'm dealing. I kind of don't like women since the millennium because I've been majorly attacked at a genocidal level by them. So I don't remember moms hating. Well, we had Twyla. We had to deal with Twyla, but in our society, I don't. Well, maybe I don't know. I don't remember. My aunt Susie. There's a guy named there's cabin crew Jorge from Peru, who has a photo with my cousin Felipe, who's a pilot for American Airlines, and apparently he went to Miami. Hi Felipe, iba a preguntar por ti aquí en Dallas, pero aparentemente estás en Miami. Muchos saludos. For the people in Texas, don't know if you hate me. Don't know if you jumped on the bandwagon of hate crime from St. Simon and Jude or high school. But a shout out to Tom Martinez. This wasn't supposed to be a comedic bit, but that's how I deal with homicide. I deal with everything with humor. That's just the way I am. But I've been compelled with so much hate crime and human trafficking and severe crime since 2014-15. My self-mechanism is humor. So maybe I'll get it down to stand-up level at some point in time. Which Washington, D.C. is looking to get back to comedy. They have a stand-up venue in Washington, D.C. Just make sure former Mayor Gray doesn't give you a ticket and ban you from the airport so you can't go there. Because he does that. Mayor Gray, who's on the District of Columbia side, if he hates you and wants to attack you for the Barack Obama gang that wants to kill you, they just might cross the lines. Yeah, former Mayor Gray of the District of Columbia just might cross the border into Northern Virginia to try to ticket you and ban you from the airport because Barack Obama told him to, because he doesn't like you and he wants to screw your life over. Just like the Baltimore white morgue that's criminally insane. They're all fat, really white and fat and criminally insane. The Baltimore morgue from Cecil County, yeah, they also like to cross the borders into Northern Virginia and stalk their homicidal targeted victims. So yeah, people, homicidals from Washington D.C. and Maryland, and apparently from everywhere, have a psychological, criminally insane problem of crossing borders. That's actually true. Former Mayor Gray stepped out of line and crossed the border into Virginia to harass somebody with entertainment papers. And so did the Baltimore murder morgue. They're all fat, white, and white. Criminally insane Baltimore white morgue. They look like Christy Diaz, but they're really white. Christy is a brunette. Anyways, so that was pretty scary. Everybody was concerned that the Baltimore murder morgue that's criminally insane came down all the way from Baltimore just to stalk and harass me or intimidate me. Maybe that's how Christy and Maria were keeping tabs. Go scare her. Maria likes to scare people. When she bullies, she's like, scram. Just a major thing for Maria Diaz would be like, scram. She'd use her height. and her party chick image with her Corona beer. Scram!
Deberían tener soluciones, por favor. Los Centros para el Control y Prevención de Enfermedades recomiendan el distanciamiento social para detener la propagación de germes. Manténgase a 6 pies de distancia de los demás cuando juegue su maleta por cualquier área del aeropuerto. Gracias.
So, it's a funny thing. I get the funniest things in my head. So I bet George is living. Mr. President, former President George Bush lives in Dallas, and Soraya from high school, and Lucas Floriani apparently has moved here now. Laura Semro, and Melissa Denler. I miss I've in the past 5 years I remembered Melissa Denler a lot. Melissa, you were a great gal. Glad to see you're doing well, and much love to your family. Oh, so I was remembering, if you've ever seen comedic bits about George Bush and Guillermo, I'm like walking through the airport and I'm thinking George Bush, his library that I haven't seen yet, and Guillermo. I just get comedic bits more and more every day in my mind. But yeah, I thought about that. But why I got the video and what I was talking about racism and harassment by Filipinos is as a true victim of serious premeditated homicidal crime by Asians and the Filipinos in California and everywhere, they'll signal things. So I was assaulted. I get attacked. Like I mentioned the other day, they'll commit an act of hate and attack, and then in a public forum elsewhere, they'll explain what happened. So I'm the Loomis truck. I'm the Loomis truck that anyways. I can't think of anything to explain right now, but let's say I was assaulted by the Barack Obama group in Ohio, maybe maybe he put a bunch of blacks and Filipinos at the snack stand or something. In another city, another day, they'll explain it like it was over there. It's hard to explain, but they do that. But anyways, so I'm walking by B6 and there's a Filipino as an electronic stalker right there. The evil access goes to sit down and he has the nerve to cough. So I had my haters take things that are mine and they just distort it and ruin it for themselves. It'd be like what they did to Facebook. They graffitied Facebook, a documentary, and made it into like Fat Albert and Fat Anthony graffitied Ghetto Element. It's weird. Anyways.